The Icons of Real Estate Podcast. Are you ready to learn the proven money-making secrets from top-producing icon agents? Ready to skyrocket your business? This podcast is for you. Tune in every week with your host, Tomasz Fonseca, and find out how to implement proven strategies to 10 times your business, from $3 million to $30 million in just 12 months. Brought to you by the Masters in Real Estate Marketing, Arter SEO.
So welcome to another episode of the Icons of Real Estate podcast, where we highlight top professionals who are making waves in the industry. I'm your host, Karen Roberts, and today we're excited to welcome Joe Santini. He's a dynamic force in the real estate world, known for his unwavering commitment to empowering agents and elevating their careers. As a non-competing broker, his focus is on ensuring the success of his team, providing personalized support and fostering a culture of collaboration and excellence. With a mission to help agents sell more houses, make more money, and work efficiently, Joe leads with innovative coaching programs that boost confidence and business development skills. So welcome to the show, Joe.
Hey, great to be here, Karen, and thanks for having me on.
So the listeners always want to hear your backstory. So what inspired you to transition from being an agent to becoming a non-competing broker, and how has that experience shaped your approach to supporting others?
Awesome. So yeah, I'll even go back just a little before that. Before I even got into the real estate business, I was a business person and in New York, and I bought and sold a lot of businesses, and I got tired of running around up there in Manhattan, and then I decided to come down to Florida, in Boca Raton, Florida, which is where I'm located. And basically I was looking for a house, and the realtors, who were picking me up, I was like, wow, this is great. They're all driving such nice cars. They don't look like they're really working so hard. I said, oh my God, I got to try that profession, because I didn't know quite what I was going to do with myself. I was going to open maybe another business. So I said, let's give it a go. And that's when I became an agent. And I found out that the agents do work very, very, very hard. It's just a different perception of them, which is what I had at that time. So I had a ball selling real estate, running around. I made lots of great friends, lots of great customers, and I just loved helping people getting into that home. But there was also another side of me that just loved running a business, rather than just being an independent contractor and running my own business, just running a bigger operation. And it was also very conducive. I had young kids at the time. I wanted to go back to that Monday to Friday, more stability. So that's when I decided, you know what, eight years is enough selling real estate. I had a great time. And they were kind of asking me to transition to management. So that's what I did. And it's just a very natural thing for me, because I've just been doing it my whole life.
Awesome. And can you share any particular moment or experience in your career that reinforced your commitment to helping agents succeed?
Yeah, I'm lucky enough to work with a large amount of really successful agents, and we get that great feeling or that reinforcement every day. Every time I see, that maybe something I said or a class that we taught help somebody get a customer or close a deal, and I see how that makes a difference, in their lives. Real estate agents, they have the toughest job in the world, waking up every day really unemployed. And sometimes even if you're a successful agent, that money can ebb and flow. And when you can make an impact and bring stability to somebody's life, I think we get to enjoy that success just working with the agents every day.
Yes, it's got to be tough because, yeah, as you say, you're only as good as your last deal, right? And so the pressure that is on, and if some of these agents, they're not being guided, they don't have the support that you are giving your agents, it's got to be very tough for them out there. So for you, how do you cultivate this culture of awesomeness within your team, and why do you believe it's an essential part to be successful in real estate?
Yeah, I think, and, we were just talking about that this morning on a meeting we were having, the culture, of the office and how that works into the lives of the agents. And I like to say in our office, we have a culture of productivity. So it's a good business atmosphere with a lot of fun mixed in. And we make the office an easy place to do business. And I think that's a big part of it. And I practice like complete brokerage management. So basically, we want to be great partners to these agents. So, and that would involve, obviously just setting up the office in the right way, having a great staff, but actually being there for each individual agent, because each one is really running their own business separately and individually. So providing what they need individually. So that's very different from a big top producer would have certain needs. And then maybe a brand new up and coming agent is going to have different needs. So in the office, every day in our office calendar, it's geared towards providing things that are going to make their business grow. So, whether it be the classes that we teach or the private coaching that we give, or just the environment, the motivational, positive environment that they can come into when they come in the office, that's going to spur them on. Because as a realtor, you have to have just blind optimism, because if you start looking at it too much, you're going to be like, wow, this is like almost impossible. So it's like any entrepreneurial endeavor. You have to have that personality where you're going to make it happen. But we like them to come in and we're going to give them the answers that they need. Whether they act on it, that's going to be up to them. But we're going to show them the quickest path to success. And then we always say, it's up to you whether you're going to do it or not.
But you're providing that environment. So for you, what unique financial strategies do you find most effective for agents looking to build and protect their personal wealth? And what motivated you to incorporate this into your coaching?
Yeah, well, I work for Coldwell Banker, right? And they do a great job of offering agents great things and wealth building strategies, because one of the big problems that agents have is as they go through this business, they don't plan for the future. They kind of think that this is going to last forever, and it doesn't. We move on, we get older, and then if you're living paycheck to paycheck, that's a huge problem, because you could do that for years and then realize that you really don't have any money. So what we do, and we're coming up to it now, to be at the end of each year, I meet with every agent and we create a business plan, right? And the business plan is going to determine how much money they want to make, how much money that they need to put in a savings account. And then we come up with the activities that are needed to achieve those goals. Because I got to tell you, most agents don't do that. They wake up every day, they try to get deals done, and they really live paycheck to paycheck. They do a deal, they feel great, then they have trouble doing deals, they get nervous. Not a way to live. So we have them address it as a regular business, and Coldwell Banker provides a lot of tools for that. One of the things we have is a referral rewards program. And what that is where if another agent recommends an agent to my office, and we think they're a good fit and we hire them, they get a referral fee every time that person does a deal. So it's almost like planning for the future. So if you do that from the beginning of your career and you have 10, 20, 30 people under your name, right? Not that it's going to replace selling real estate. It's not designed to do that, but it's something that as you get older, that stuff will still be happening for you, because maybe you don't want to work 12 hours a day anymore. Maybe you want to take a few extra days off, so that would kick in and then you'd have a little better time. And along with that, we always coach the agents to build their business to sell. it's like any other business. And think about that when you start your business. So you're going
Uh,
to, create great relationships, create great databases. So when it is time for you to move on, right, and maybe step down a little bit, you can pass that along. You can sell that book of business. And unless you're thinking like that from the start, you really can't do it at the last minute. So these are things that myself and Coldwell Banker really puts front and center because we really care about the agents and we care about them as people.
Love that. So really what I'm hearing from you is when you start out, actually start with an exit strategy, which, yeah, I think so many people don't do across many businesses. And actually everybody could benefit from having something like that in place. So that's amazing. So with you and your team, how many are there in your team?
We got a great office. We're in the Boca Raton office in Southeast Florida. We're really lucky that everybody wants to be here. The weather is spectacular, and, during, the COVID time, everybody was coming to South Florida, right? And even now, they find it just an easy place to live. It's a good tax structure and I always say South Florida is easy living. So we have about almost 300 agents. We have 5 staff members, and it is one of the most successful offices for the company in the country. And that's just a testament to me hiring great agents. They're doing it, and we just have some remarkable people who get up every single day, regardless of how they feel, and they go out and make it happen. So it's a pretty big office even for Coldwell Banker standards. And we're located, real close to the beach. And we're lucky to have just a great location and just really motivated entrepreneurs.
Mm. I'm sure it's got something to do with the sunshine, hasn't it, Joe? It's got something to do with the sunshine.
Listen, when you wake up every day and you see the blue water, the palm trees, the sunshine, it's really hard. It's really hard not to go out there and want to get it and make it happen. I mean, it could have the opposite effect too. You could just go to the beach all day, but you got to make you got to make sure that doesn't happen. But it's an easy place to just do business, and South Florida has really, they used to say, there was nothing here except the weather, but the way these cities have built themselves up, they've become destinations. I mean, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, they're really city centers now. So you really can't say there's nothing here. And that's why so many people are relocating because you can do big business in this area now, which wasn't the case maybe like 15 years ago.
Brilliant. So location, location, location. So for you, Joe, well, what's next then? What are your goals for next year?
Well, business, it's so busy in these offices that the days fly by. I mean, I can't believe it's the end of the year, so now we're focusing on really closing out the year strong, right? And that's the reason for that is because as an office, as a brokerage, if we close it out strong, we'll start the year strong. And it's the same thing for the agents, which, I find it really interesting how me as the broker, I really am doing the same thing as an agent does, right? I'm planning for my business. I'm trying to get new customers, which is trying to recruit new agents. So the things I do, they do. So we can share in our planning, and I urge them not to really take their foot off the gas too much, because if they stop working at Thanksgiving and plan on starting again in January, they're going to be waiting 2 or 3 months for a paycheck. So, they don't always know that, so it's up to me as their partner really to point these things out. And I'm doing the same thing. We have great leadership here in South Florida, and they're relying on me to finish strong so we can start strong for 2025.
Fantastic. So our last question is always the same, because here at Icons, we're not just a podcast. We are the #1 real estate podcast in the US, and we are passionate about making podcasting accessible for all realtors. So if you had your own podcast, or your team had their own podcast, what would you call it?
That's a great question. And you guys do such a nice job. I've seen the podcast around, so you guys are doing a great job. But if I was to jump in that arena, I don't know, it would be something entrepreneurial based. Maybe something like the Entrepreneurial's Guide to Survival, or how to be an expert lead generator for yourself, or how to be the best you can be. Something business wise, something to really help
Love that.
people unlock, the best in themselves.
Fantastic. And look, if the listeners, they're looking to relocate to Florida, or there might be other agents that would love to be part of your team, how do they get in touch? Where do they reach you at?
Awesome. So I'm with the Coldwell Banker office in Boca Raton, Florida, and anybody can reach out to me on my cell phone. I always like to give out my cell phone, 561-400-1855. Give me a call, tap into the great energy we got going on here in Boca, and we can really take your business to the next level.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your time today. Joe, enjoy the sunshine over there. And to the listeners, I'll be back next time with the Icons of Real Estate. Bye for now.
Thank you, Karen. Bye-bye.